Teachers versus caregivers. The mood for today is whose work is harder. Now we will have the first speaker for today is from the caregiver.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Miss LaShawna Jones. I strongly believe that caregivers work harder than teachers. Reason for that is that caregiver has to be at work from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily, Monday to Friday. Have to always be there for our baby. Always, no matter what is going on, whether school has an event or not, we have to always be there, always be attentive to them, right? Always have to be attentive to our babies. Lunch break, we don't have that. Morning break, we don't have that. Always have to be there on the go all the time.
All the time.
All the time, we have to be on the go. You understand?
So true.
Whilst we're trying to have something to eat, you have to run off with food in your mouth. Go there, attend to a baby. Washroom breaks, no washroom breaks. No washroom break. We cannot run personal errands on lunch break because we don't have that. Likewise, teacher, they have 1 hour to run their personal errands.
They got it good over there.
No time. Unpredictable. Our babies are unpredictable. We have to be attentive at all time. Thank you very much.
All right. So we have speaker 1 from the teacher. You can step out.
Fine.
Honorable judges, esteemed adjudicators, and revered viewers, I stand here today as the first speaker on behalf of the teachers group to tell you why we believe that the work of a teacher is by far harder than the work of a caregiver. But first, let me define the term working hard to the opponents. According to the Cambridge Dictionary, working hard means always putting a lot of effort. And the key word always doesn't mean sometimes.
Always.
So always means always putting
a
lot of effort and care into the work. So let me just take you through a little demonstration of what the teachers are required to do, not just from the nursery level, but nursery onwards. Completing the curriculum. The Ministry of Education outlines a curriculum that is needed for schools. Even at private institutions, we have to work along with the curriculum. The curriculum will have different aspects of teaching methodologies that teachers have to follow, teaching techniques that teachers have to follow, as well as teaching strategies. These are things that I'm pretty sure the opposing team might not have an idea of what they are. Going on. Teachers have to ensure that legal records such as the registers are intact. These are documentation, listen, these are documentation that have to be taken to court if there's a matter that is being concerned. This is a responsibility for teachers within the teaching system. Legal documentation. I continue. Teachers have to ensure that they plan their lessons for their learners. Lessons planning has to be done according to a format and a structure that will entail the teacher taking her own time, her own knowledge, plan a lesson, structure it out, including teaching strategies, including teaching methodologies. And teachers also have to ensure that we teach according to the curriculum. This doesn't mean sitting down and say, okay, draw a circle around that. Or just ensure that when we go out to do our storytelling, we have to bring the story alive, not just by saying it, but being able to put the children to do it. We are directly involved in planning the assessments for our children. We have to ensure that we dedicate time, effort, and energy to ensure that our children excel. Not just that, we also serve as caregivers. Listen, at the nursery level, we have children that are 3 years old. And the same as the preschool, we still have to care for them, we still have to feed them, we still have to ensure that they're neatly dressed and clean them. Children wear their pampers on a daily, children vomit up all the time, and these are things that teachers still have to be faced with. Not to mention that according to an article from Newsday, 6 to 4% of students fail math CXC. Now let me tell you why the statistic is important. Because without a firm foundation with the academical concept and the nursery level, primary education is hard. Without nursery teachers, primary school children don't know how to write from a blackboard.
So now we will have the second speaker from the caregiver team. Step up to the front.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Miss Knetta McKenzie, and I'm speaking about our work as caregiver being hard done. These teachers said the work is hard done. First thing, let me bring to your attention, changing pampers. This is the first thing of all of it. You know, as if forgot the changing pampers, children missing 5 to 6 children missing in a day, and you got to change all of them without help. You know what patience is though? There's a lot of patience, and none of y'all teachers don't got to deal with all them things. I might get one child. We got 6 and 7 of them got missing, and we got cleaned. You know what scent you got to take it in? And plus you got them dealing with all them feces.
Yeah.
Plus on top of that, we still got to do with if them children ain't want to relax, we got to see what they're kicking up, fighting up for don't want to put on a pump. Y'all don't got to do with that. Man, of course, that is sad. First thing, that is why our work is harder than yours.
It's not.
Even though, but this here too,
come on.
same thing, y'all don't gotta do that, cause here we y'all is do, y'all sit down right relax in y'all chair,
And so go to the washroom.
Go to the toilet.
Yes.
Just, you want to use the washroom, go to the toilet and go flush it when you're done. That's what y'all is do.
Yes.
Majority of the time.
And don't
We have to go with them.
And don't ensure
Don't
them
lie, cause enough of y'all like to see. Y'all just send them. Y'all just send them. And another thing too, let me break this down a little. I know some y'all might not think so, but we are scared of it. If y'all know we've got food handlers.
Me too.
We don't
Come on, no.
Y'all don't got to chest x-ray, blood x-ray. We have to do a whole medical. Now we's gonna do it more than y'all. And within 6 months, y'all don't got this for 6 months. Y'all stop it. Good. So y'all know y'all.
So that makes your work harder? That makes the requirement to have your job harder? It's a different.
All right, so we calling on the nursery speaker two from the nursery. Your turn.
Hi. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ms. Chantal, and I'm representing the teachers. Now, why teachers work is harder than caregivers? Now, we have a tighter schedule than the daycare. Right? Caregiver work is like strolling to the park. And it's like running a sprint. Right? Teachers work is more harder. We come, yes, we do work from 7 to 12. Right? But we work with a schedule. We work with a schedule. We have phonics, maths, textbook, exercise book, we have celebration, story time, and a lot more to mention before 12. Also, we have to make sure that each and every one of those children finish their work on time.
Exactly.
These guys do the same. So we have a lot to do. See, not forget it. Manners. Let's talk about manners. Let's talk about manners and bullying.
Let me talk about manners.
Yes, the babies do bite and push down, but what about our older children? We have to teach them the right or wrong. We have to give them that standard of normal.
So we can't do that,
right? We have to learn them right from wrong. What about we gotta deal with stabbing pencil in hand?
We got to
and doing this and doing that.
Come on. Supposed to have a pencil.
Come on. But also let me tell you guys, yes, we do include snacks and lunch, but when the children is doing snacks and lunch, we have to prepare for the next one. So it's not like we rocking while you caregivers just sit down, rocking the baby and singing think about. We just keep going. We just keep going. We don't get no rest until 12.
The third speaker for the caregiver team. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. Esteemed judges, qualifiers. Now, I'm here to argue. These teachers are saying we just sit around, rock babies and all these things. But let me tell you something. When you teachers having your full 2 months vacation, well-paid leave at home, we still have to work without pay. When you have to jump in your planes,
So you're
fly to
working
Dubai. Fly to Dubai.
That's right. Check
Go
it
to
out.
cars and Barbados and all these things. We still have to sit our babies. We still have to sit back with them. True. Yes, it may just look like a walk in the park as you say, but yes, still we sprint like you symbol for 50 meter. Like I said, sprinting. Now,
Usain Bolt.
when school closes, you got July, August. We don't have July, we don't have August. We have 2 weeks in August. 1 week in December. 1 week for Easter. Now, mind you, while being caregivers to these people, children, we have our family, we have our own life. Now, we can't really take time like you teachers
But they
to go
got
on
family touring.
and go touring, catering them for summer classes and all these things. We have our own summer
Swimming and
classes
everything.
at our school with our caregivers. Yes, they may be babies, but babies are not easy. You was once a baby, you can't remember. But not just babies, we have 1-year-old, 2-year-old, even 3-year-olds, which is the most difficult ones to deal with, toddlers, because why? They're not developing themselves. They like to move around. Now tell me, as a teacher, how you can have a 3-year-old to sit and write and spell the name, withdraw,
So we have
and all
more
these
things to do
things.
with them. So
Yeah, but you said you have a schedule. We don't have schedule.
No,
Exactly.
We have
no.
thing.
So you freelance and
Now when you come to school
they're
at 8
unmanageable.
and you leave at 12, we from 6 to 6. Sometimes 6:30, sometimes 7, sometimes even 8. Because we care for our parents who have late works. We stay back. We don't get to all times. Because if you say, hey, what, me want to walk, I could go. Man, she will still pay you. They will. But if we say we don't want to work,
No, ik kan niet stil.
if you don't want to work, we got study, we have bills, we have rent.
So we have the third speaker from the teacher team. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Miss Cynthia Singh, and I'm here representing the teachers team. First of all, teachers require a higher level of education, whereby the daycare can do their childcare course and just relax with that. However, we teachers, we have to go out and do our research. We have to go to CPCE. We have to go to other teachers training. We have to go about and do other studies to focus on the subject areas.
Degree and diploma.
Of course, teachers will have to do the childcare course just like the daycare, but our studies have to be a higher level than your daycare.
Okay,
teachers.
let me talk about the subjects in need now.
First of all, we have to do mathematics, English, science, social studies. We have to do our degrees.
But we got to do subjects at
Units, we got to come with subject, we can't walk ahead just so.
Yes, it is also true that caregivers need a stable education
Okay then.
to take care of babies. However, we as teachers have to study harder than you all.
Why you think so?
Because we have to caregivers want to wait go first if you go to
still need to be for the foundation.
Yes, caregivers do need an education to handle babies, but teachers require a more higher level education. We have to get patience, love, understanding.
We have to
buy the patience.
We gotta get more patience. We gotta give them more love. Man, love for
Mind
You need to go back there.
Mind you, the teachers of nursery and the higher level of education or the higher levels of schools have to deal with children with depression, have to deal with children with anxiety, children coming and sleeping away at the school. Children coming to you with their own problems from home.
Teachers, kindly give yourself a big round of applause. Caregivers. So we have the rebuttal. So we give you a couple minutes. So we're having the rebuttal. Teachers against caregivers, vice versa. Whose work is more harder? So this is the rebuttal. Go ahead.
Being a caregiver, you have to always be there, and that is my main point. When you as teachers leave at 12:30, us as caregiver take over from aftercare, and we have to be there with your children after 12:30 till 6, 7 and all the long hours.
Yes,
We as caregivers have to be there doing their aftercare. What do you have to say now about that?
Well, whilst you're doing the aftercare, guess what our teachers have to do? We now have to be able to travel our way down to CPTE, the Cyril Potter College of Education, where we have multiple courses, over 200 courses we have to complete within a 2-year span. And that allows us to and we have to be able to do assessments, do practicals, do teaching practices, which will then be able to allow us to teach our children effectively. Yes, you're staying back and sitting down on your floor scrolling, watching TikTok.
Wow.
Yes, you go over there, you
Baby
see them.
sleeping there, yeah,
You're
sleeping.
waiting.
Oh,
The
wow.
parent comes to collect the children. Okay, John, your dad is here. Let's go. Give your bag, and you gone back on your phone. We as teachers still have to be able to do all that we have to do. We still have to do all of our trainings, all of everything.
Yes.
Come home,
That is
have
it.
classes from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Then the
And
night.
when you finish at 6, you go home, you rest, you come back the next day ready for work. All is good. We have 10 assignments due before midnight. We have 5 essays. We have to 5,000 words essays we have to submit before the week is up. Tell me how your work is hard.
Can I say, I should answer you now. Do you have to study all your work life? No, I have to deal with children from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. all my work life. You only study for 2 years, and if you want to further, it's another 2. So it's 4 years. You do not have to deal with that all your work life. So CPC is not an exam. It's not no exam.
Bit noise inside this debate. After a bit of your timing is not everything, honey, because we still have to be able to do your work. Why is it that caring for children is not exclusive to caregivers? Caring for children happens from now all the way throughout all the way throughout your educational journey. You're not just caring for the children physically, you have to care for that child emotionally, mentally. You have to be there, you have to be that child's second parent throughout any circumstance or any situation that might arise. We still have to be there. Teachers have to show their presence, teachers have to be there for that child. We have to detect abuse. Children are in our care, being physically abused, and not just detecting, we have to be there to push these children throughout every stage of their educational journey. When the parents neglect the children and refuse to help them, we have to be that second parent. We have to step in, ensuring that that child have a fair opportunity to have a good job when he or she finishes high school. So our work takes a lot of more mental strain on the teachers who have the responsibility of 40 children in her class opposed to 6 children sit down in a circle.
No. First thing first, when a child comes to nursery,
not the first. Go on.
when a child comes for an interview at nursery school, what's the first question you ask? Oh, did this child ever went to school before? You know why? We are the base foundation. We teach them how to We teach them how to hold a crayon, because if they do not know to hold a crayon, you will have the problem. You will have the problem. But our work is much more harder to let them know to teach them to sit around a table, to teach them to eat independently. We have to teach them to eat independently. Let me stop you in your tracks right there, madam. Don't fly up in my face. Come on. Hold your horses. Hold your horses, please.
We do not have a stable here. Speak your point.
But you have to find one.
Your same point. I know with
Master, let me talk. You had your chance. Let me talk about children that y'all be sending out, because you know why? They can't write. You let them go.
Exactly.
Go to your mother. You can send them homework. But us as caregivers, when they reach a certain age, the age of 3-year-old, they have to do certain things. They have to scratch. They have to trace. They have to learn to do everything with us, and we have to take care of them.
but
We have to take care of them. Make sure they're
discussion that whilst you are feeding and caring and looking after and all these things for your children, you're trying to say that the teacher work is easier because she just said, take out your bowl, take out your snack.
Yes.
Here at Uniques, we have an obligation to ensure each child eat that food. We can't send home that food. That's listen, y'all teachers who have to ensure the children hold the crayon, honey, that's exclusive to Uniques. Not all school is like Uniques. That is not for all caregivers in Guyana. That's true.
Yeah,
the point.
Come on.
That is not a requirement for caregivers. Caregivers
Yes, it is.
We at Uniques do that. But listen, there's multiple, almost 60% of the children that enter nursery school never went into a daycare before. But listen, by the time they're ready to come out,
We're talking about Uniques all the time, sweetheart.
No,
Come on.
we have a lot of new intakes. Clearly, you
Come
haven't
on.
been keeping record.
Come
But
on.
when with the children ready to leave, they have to learn to read and write from that blackboard. They have to spell their name. They must be able to know multiplication, addition, subtraction. They know vertebrates, they know planets. And these children are very, very versed in
Can you hold a crayon as soon as you come into nursery? You would hold a crayon if you come from another school? No.
You can pick a child don't have basic motor function.
No.
You put the motor function in their hand. The
No.
child can. You
No.
enable the child to understand your instruction. But
That's
the child
why
function develops according to their milestone.
That's why
Not
we
you.
at Unique Caregiving Daycare Department, we educate our parents on how
All right, so we have teachers. The teachers, your argument is strong. Give yourself a big round of applause. Caregiver, you have some positive arguments as well. Give yourself a big round of applause. Well done of knowing exactly what you do every day. Right? This debate is for us to know where we are and how important we are. And each of us are important. Each of us, to the work that we do is as equal. Right? It's as equal. Right? The children need the caregivers from that level. And then after this level, they need the teachers at that level. So our children need us all. Right? So our work is different, yes. It is, right? But it is the same, right? It is the same, whereby the children, as they move from one stage to another, they get the same nurture from the preschool and from the teachers, right? At the end of the day, when we come together as one, we bring out children that are excellent because they need us caregivers and teachers. So the children of Guyana will become and our community, they were able to reach their fullest potential because of us teachers. Excellent debate. Give yourself a cheer.
teachers, caregivers.